The Chicago Bulls reportedly are one of the three teams that are bidding for Jonathan Kuminga's services for next season. A sign and trade is the only thing the Bulls can do. Will they or should they? We'll talk about it right after this.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
What is going on, Bulls Nation? So the Chicago Bulls reportedly are eyeing Jonathan Kuminga, and I don't blame them. This is a guy that what Arturos is talking about, a guy that's still young, yet familiar, with a lot of upside. But also you got to pay. It looks like he is trying to get guys that are going to get paid. He did that with Giddey and now with Jonathan Kuminga. I am not opposed to this. I like Jonathan Kuminga. I think he's a very good player with still a lot of upside. He reminds me of a young DeMar DeRozan. When DeMar DeRozan was in Toronto, he was an absolute stud. He was the anchor of that team, the star player. But we know that was a different time. Jump shot, two-pointers, and all that stuff. Is Kuminga ready for, a brand of basketball, kind of like what we are doing now, which is space and pace? I believe so. I believe Kuminga could still thrive. He got this reputation where he's kind of like a ball stopper. There were reports that the coaching staff have grew tired of him because he is taking shots away or looking off Steph Curry. It sounds like a guy who just wants to be on the floor and is not defined his role. So any moment that he gets, he tries to, outshine everyone. I don't blame the guy. He's about to be a free agent. He's trying to get his money. With that being said, Steph Curry is probably one of the better players to play with since he's not really a ball hog and he spaces the floor for you. With that being said, Kuminga is a super athlete. If you're going to pair Josh Giddey, for example, with someone, Kuminga would be that guy. Throw lobs, throw him in. He doesn't space the floor that well because he's an okay three-pointer, and by okay, I'm stretching that out. But again, very athletic, serviceable defensively. I would put him in the same category as Kobe White defensively. They're not horrible, but they're not also like Alex Caruso. But as far as offense is concerned, you're not going to have any problems with Kuminga. Is he going to be the number one guy on the team? I don't think so. He certainly could be on a losing team. So if the Bulls are trying to do that, then maybe. But I'm not opposed to getting him. I think there is still untapped potential when it comes to Kuminga. Now the question is, at what cost? Keep in mind, a sign and trade, Golden State can only absorb 50%. So with the camp that says Vooch is going to get it done, I highly doubt it. I don't think Golden State is going to be like, whoa, okay, get our young guy so we can get a 35-year-old about to be free agent. I don't think, honestly, even if the salary matches, which it doesn't, because keep in mind, Vooch is making $21 million. For that to happen, that means Kuminga needs to sign $42 million with the Bulls. If it's straight up trade, because Golden State is only going to absorb half. The max Kuminga can sign is like 38.7. So that's not going to happen. And even if you can sign Kuminga for 41, do you really want to give Kuminga a $41 million contract? That is the next Zach LaVine contract right there. If you could, right? Which you can't. But no one in their right mind would be, maybe Brooklyn would give Kuminga a max contract. I wouldn't even give Kuminga a $30 million contract, to be quite honest with you. I can't read the value of Kuminga in the open market. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gives him $32 million. Or I also wouldn't be surprised if somebody gives him $20 million. He's so up and down and so inconsistent that it's hard to gauge really what his value is. You are basically paying him for the potential that he might be good for your team. And I think he would fit the Bulls' timeline. Having him next to Kobe, Giddey, and Matas sounds like a good core right there of young guys. The question is now with Giddey, Kobe, and now Kuminga, those three guys needs the ball in their hands. I don't know how that's gonna work out. It kind of worked out for Josh and Kobe, but now you add another element to it. Does that mean Matas is not gonna get any touches then? If anything, to be quite honest with you, a trade involving Kobe White would be, I would say, the most realistic pathway to Kuminga. Meaning Kuminga would sign 25 million. You'll get Kobe in there, or maybe 28 million for Kuminga. You put Kobe in there, and then maybe, I don't know if that's, I wouldn't do that if I was the Bulls. I'd rather pay Kobe than Kuminga, to be quite honest. But with Golden State, if you're the Bulls, it feels like you're getting kind of snubbed here, you know. I feel like the Golden State needs to attach something, maybe 2 second rounders or something, to make it valuable for the Bulls, because I'm just not, maybe I'm just not that high when it comes to Kuminga. Now, if we're gonna get him for Vooch and Lonzo Ball, you know, I know the salaries doesn't match, but if what Golden State does is rescind the offer for Kuminga and then outright sign him for 30 million, I wouldn't mind paying him 30 million if that would only cost us Vooch and Lonzo Ball, and that means we keep Kobe White. But that's far from happening, because the Warriors would risk it all by rescinding the qualifying offer to Kuminga. But we shall see. But again, I am not opposed to this for the right price. But let me know your thoughts about Jonathan Kuminga and his potential fit for the Bulls, and at what cost. What would be, I would say, a fair compensation salary for Kuminga, and also what would be a fair compensation for Golden State? Let me know in the comments down below. Would love to hear the thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.